This is a true story about a girl named Anna Carey. She was an 18-year-old college freshman, thrilled to be living on her own for the very first time. Like many college students, Anna wanted independence, and when she found a small, affordable apartment just off campus, she jumped at the chance. But her excitement was short-lived. Soon, her life would take a turn for the disturbing. Anna's apartment was modest but had its charms, quaint, with creaky wooden floors and old-fashioned wallpaper. However, from the moment she walked in, something felt off. There was a heaviness in the air, something she couldn't quite place. She chalked it up to nerves, the usual stress of moving. After all, she had left her family and was about to start a new chapter in her life. But within a few nights, Anna began to notice strange things. It started small. When she'd come home from class, she'd find items in her apartment slightly out of place. Her textbooks moved, a cup left on the counter that she swore she'd put away. At first, she thought she was just being forgetful. Maybe she was tired, adjusting to the demands of school. But then it got weirder. One night, while studying late, she heard footsteps. They were soft at first, almost as if someone were trying not to be heard. The sound seemed to come from the hallway, just outside her door. She held her breath, straining to listen, wondering if a neighbor had returned home late. But then, the footsteps stopped, right in front of her door. She stared, heart pounding, waiting to hear more. But the silence that followed was even more unsettling. Anna managed to brush it off again. "It's an old building," she told herself. "Old buildings make noises." She convinced herself it was all in her head. But as the days went by, the strange occurrences continued. Shadows would flicker in the corner of her eye, and she'd feel an intense chill whenever she entered her bedroom. One night, Anna was woken up by a sound that made her blood run cold. It was a faint, whispering voice coming from somewhere in her room. She couldn't make out the words, but it was unmistakable, a soft murmur, like someone standing just inches from her bed. She lay frozen, gripping her sheets, too terrified to move. When the whispering finally stopped, she switched on her bedside lamp and spent the rest of the night in a restless, fearful silence. The following day, Anna told her friend, Lucy, about the strange happenings. Lucy laughed it off, suggesting it might be the stress of school getting to her. "Maybe you just need to get out of the apartment for a while," Lucy said. "Clear your mind." Desperate for any kind of relief, Anna agreed. She spent the weekend with Lucy, hoping that a change of scene. But when Anna returned to her apartment, the sense of dread came rushing back, stronger than before. That night, as she lay in bed, the whispering started again. This time, it was clearer, almost as if someone were speaking directly into her ear. The voice was cold and breathy, saying only one word, "leave." Anna's heart pounded as she tried to rationalize what was happening. Maybe it was a dream, but deep down, she knew it wasn't. She had felt the presence, the cold breath against her skin. The following morning, Anna noticed something strange on her bedroom wall. Faint handprints, too large to be her own, were smeared across the paint, as if someone had pressed their palms against the wall and dragged them down slowly. She took a step back, feeling the familiar chill that had haunted her since moving in. She grabbed her phone and took a picture, hoping it was a trick of the light. But the handprints were unmistakable, as clear as day. Determined to find answers, Anna began researching her apartment building's history. After hours of digging, she found a disturbing story. Decades ago, a tenant, a young woman not much older than Anna, had vanished without a trace. Her belongings were left untouched in her apartment, but no one ever saw her again. Rumors spread that she had been driven mad by strange noises and shadows. Some claimed she was still there, trapped between worlds, seeking company. That night, Anna decided she'd had enough. She packed a bag and planned to leave, at least for a few days. But as she headed for the door, a feeling washed over her. An intense, suffocating pressure, like invisible hands pressing down on her shoulders, stopping her in her tracks. She couldn't breathe, couldn't move. Her vision blurred as she felt herself being forced backward into the apartment. It was as if something didn't want her to leave. Finally, with all her strength, she broke free and stumbled outside, gasping for air. She never went back. She She moved out the following day, breaking her lease without a second thought. She left most of her belongings behind, too afraid to return even to pack. To this day, Anna swears she can still feel that presence, lingering just beyond her reach. Every so often, she'll wake up in her new place, heart pounding, and hear the faintest whisper in the darkness.